So, team, in today's session, okay, we will be learning few more transformations. Okay, so with that, I will stop discussing these transformations. This data file will not help. Let me go here. I'm just importing all temporary tables into database. Okay, so today let's start with another transformation is nothing but data validation. See, team, in the BODS now, if you learn all these transformations, then you are more than enough to work on BODS. That's it. See, basically, this data validation transformation is nothing but it performs some validation checks. It performs some validation checks before loading the data into target system. This transformation is mostly used in migration projects. Means whenever you want to migrate the data from non-SAP systems to SAP systems, means either SAP ECC or S4HANA. So for migrating the data to SAP ECC or S4HANA, then this data validation transformation will be helpful to perform some validations before migrating the data into target system. Let's demonstrate this data validation transformation. I have just imported this temporary table into HANA. Let me see the data of this table. Yeah. See, this is, let's assume this, I have a source table, okay, with this data. I want to transform this data or I want to load this data into the target system. The target system can be anything, either flat file or same HANA or Oracle or SAP application, whatever it is. Okay. So before transforming this data into target system, I want to perform some validation checks. If that validation is getting, if that validation gets satisfied, then only load those records from source system to the target system. Validation in the sense, let's say I have a customer name here. Okay, I want to transform. I want to load the source data I mean, who's the length of customer, whose customer length as 3, whose customer length as 3, then load those records only into the target table. Load those records only into the target table. Okay, so this is one kind of validation check. Suppose if you want to check any other validation like the SBUs. Okay, so for the customers whose SBU is ASV, then only transform the data to the target system. So whenever you want to perform any validation checks before transforming the data into target system, then in that case, I will go with the data validation transformation. Let me demonstrate this data validation transformation with this source table. So I'm going here and creating a job. Name of the job is data validation. Okay, then I will simply take one data flow, df underscore, give the name of this data flow like data validation. Then I'm taking this table as a source for this data validation. What is the name of the table measure? Take this measure as a source. Okay. And next, I'm taking a query transformation, make a join from input table to this query transformation, then map everything from source table to the query transformation. So here on which column I want to perform the validation, validation checks. So I want to perform the validation checks on customer name. Okay, if the length of a customer, if a length of a customer is 3, then only load those records into the target table. Okay, so in that case, what I will do is I will create one calculated column here, and name of this column is customer name length. So this length would be integer. Just use data type is integer. Then write a function here. How do you calculate? How do you calculate the length of a customer name here is, okay, here we have a predefined function called as length. Just see, this is a predefined function, customer name. Then validate this. Okay, so now I have a validation column. Okay, or else you can directly do this in the data validation transformation also. But I'm just created one custom column, created one new column in query transformation, wherein it will give the length of a customer. It will give length of a customer. So after this, now take a data validation transformation. This will be under a platform. This is a validation transformation. The input for this validation transformation is a query transformation. Just map the query transformation to validation. If you see the options of validation transformation, okay. So here are validation rules. Then define the rules. Whatever validations you want to perform before transforming the data into target system, define those rules here. Define those rules. So I'm just defining the rules. My first rule is Name of the rule is customer name length check. Okay, I'm going with the column validation. Here we have two options, either go with the validation function or go with the column validation. Okay, so here I'm simply going with this column validation. In the column validation, we have one column created to perform the validation. Just to take that. Now, if the length of customer is greater than 3, if length of a customer greater than 3, then load those records. Then load those records, transform those records into the target table. So what I'm saying is greater than. So here simply give the value. Here these are the in the condition we have predefined operators less than all the relational operators. Okay, and also you can write a custom function as well. You can write a custom functions, custom conditions as well, and also you can take perform this existing table. Means for suppose in the existing table, in the sense, let's see either in this case I am taking this customer name length, checking the length of a customer name. For suppose if you want to perform the validation, kind of like, if the customer, if this customer exists, if the customer of source exist in any other table, then only load those customers into the target table. Okay, in that case we take the exist in table. So if you want to perform the validation with any other table, with any other table data, then you will go with this exist in table. So right now my simple validation is if the length of a customer is greater than 3, then perform this validation check. Okay. Here, the most important point here is, see, action and fail. This data validation, this data validation, if this condition is getting satisfied, if the length of a customer is greater than 3, then if the condition is getting satisfied, it will go to pass table. Basically, this data validation transformation will generate three tables. Okay, one is a send it to fail, send it to pass, and send it to both. Send it to fail, send it to pass, send it to both. If this condition is getting satisfied, if this condition is getting satisfied, then those records will be transforming into this, whether you want to transform those records into the fail table or pass table or both tables. So for now, action and fail. If the condition does not satisfied, if the condition does not satisfied, then I want to transform those records into the fail table. If the condition satisfies na, anyhow those will go to the pass table. Okay, here this action and failure only if the condition does not satisfied. If the condition does not satisfied, then you want to move those records to the fail table or pass table or bar or both. Sorry. So now if the condition does not satisfied, I am transforming these records to the fail table. Then click on OK. Okay. So the moment when you see this, this is here I have one validation rule defined. Here I have one validation rule defined on the customer name length field. Okay. So here you can see in the query transformation, here you can see there is a tick mark, which is that is nothing but this is a validation check field. This indicates see for all the columns there is no tick mark, but for this customer name length there is a tick mark which defines, which indicates this is validation check column. Okay, then after this I'm taking target tables, temporary tables for now. Schema name is owner is SAP HANA DB, and this is a pass table. And take another table for failed records. Take another table for failed records. This is a fail table. Okay. So now the output of this validation transformation, I am passing, I'm just joining the output of validation transformation to this pass and fail table. The moment when I join this validation transformation to pass table, then it will ask whether you want to pass the uh, pass records or fail records or rule violation. Okay, so for now, I'm just if the condition satisfied, then pass those records to the this pass table. Then again, take a join to this fail table. Again, it will ask if condition does not satisfied, then pass transform those records to this fail table. So go just double click on this target table and see all the options. Anyhow, we are first loading the data first time. Just disable that bulk loader option. Otherwise, it you need to input the primary key. And here also disable that bulk loader option. Okay, if you go back to this validation transformation and see the right hand side, here we have three tables. Just check it. Okay, first one is a pass table. Pass table will have some uh, okay, pass table, we have all the source field into this pass table. And if you go to fail table will have some three default columns, predefined columns. See, error action, error column, row ID. So it generates a row ID. Okay, these three are the predefined columns of, fail table, data validation fail table, error action. Okay, then error column. What is the error column? Okay, then a row ID. In the rule violation also, there are three predefined columns. Row ID, same. Okay, it will generate a row ID. Then rule name. What is the rule name that we have defined here? Then column name. On which column that rule has been defined. Just validate this data flow. No errors. See, this is my data flow. This is my data flow. Okay, with a validation transformation wherein I have performed some validation checks before loading the source data into target table. Now save this job.
Mukka, there won't be any rejections.
There won't be any rejections.
Yes.
Let me
At TCS, you own the customer which is having three correct. Oh, G is there,
more
no?
than three, more than three in
Uh,
the sense
no, no,
GE
no.
should not come.
Yes, yes, one G.
Let me put it four then.
Other put only greater than, not equal to.
Ah, ah. Then which will go to fail? GE, TCS. Let me change this condition. Okay, greater than. Okay, let's give greater than. Log into the management console. See, Ram, You asked, right, what is ETL process?
Yes, yes.
This is ETL process only. In this data
Okay.
flow, what ETL process what ETL process will perform here? This ETL process here is it will extract the data from the source table. It will perform some validation checks. Okay, based on these validation checks, the data will be loading into the target tables.
Okay, I got it. I got it. Okay.
Mm.
So sequence is like first data flow, then workflow, then job from
Reverse,
bottom to top.
reverse. Job,
From
job, workflow, data flow.
no,
Job.
I'm telling you from bottom to top. Top.
Bottom is correct. Yeah. From bottom, you are right. Just go here and run the job and see the output. As I said, now this data validation transformation is used in migration project, migrating the data to SAP systems, either ECC or S4HANA.
Okay.
Just run this.
Or if there is a table in ECC, can we directly load the data into ECC table or as for HANA table?
No, no,
No.
you
Okay.
cannot. This job is successfully completed. Okay, now go and check the output. This is a pass table. See pass table and see the length, customer name. Yeah, or else you can see this, refer the third column. So there we put a condition where customer length greater than 3, where customer length greater than 3, those records only, okay, those records only have been loaded into this pass table. Okay. Now go to fail table as well and see the data. See here, because the condition that I mean a condition that we put here is if the length greater than 3, if that condition does not satisfied, if that condition does not satisfied, and move those records to the fail table. So that is what these two, for these two only the customer, the length of customer is greater than 3. Okay, so that sorry, less than 3, so that these two records have been loaded in this table. Okay, now check here error action. Error action means what error action we have performed in this validation check. If that condition is not getting satisfied, if that condition is not getting satisfied, then move those records to the fail table. So this error action will give either F or B. F in the sense fail, B in the sense both. For suppose F in the sense fail and B in the sense both. Both means I will come to that point later. Then error column. Error column. What is the error column? Error column is a customer name length because on this field only I have performed the validation checks. Okay, then what is the row ID? What is the row ID? So row ID is it will anyhow generate you know unique numbers. So row ID is here 1 and 2. Then let me take another table as well. Okay, then this is rule violation. Now map this to this rule violation and check. I want to pass this rule violation to this target table. And here drop and recreate will drop the table. Means data also will go away. Let me check the options of this is drop and recreate. Okay. Now, validate this job and then save this job and run it. Any guess what records will come to this table, rule violation table? Pass table means data. Satisfied records will come to pass table. Fail table in the sense failure records. Okay, will come to fail table. Then the rule violation table will have what kind of data? Hmm? What kind of data this rule violation table will have?
Fails records.
Fail records will be
Fail.
coming into this rule violation or not?
Uh, this one is not in the
It's
which
not
column
tell.
it will show.
Okay, go and run this. Okay, this is completed successful and go and see the data. So anyhow, there won't be any change in this pass table and fail table also there won't be any change. Okay, now check the data of this violation table. I want it right side. See, row ID and let me delete this and take this fail table. See, this is a fail table. Okay, this is a rule violation table. In the rule in the this is a fail table and right side one is a rule violation table. In the rule violation table, see, row ID is 1 and row ID 2. What is the rule name? Customer name length check. When you define the rule, we will give the name of that rule. That name only will populate here. So column name is a customer name length. So by looking at this, okay, you will get to know that what is the issue of that record. You'll get to know that what is the issue of that record. So that kind of information will be there in this rule violation table. Okay. Now I'm going to this validation and doing one more change here. For suppose action on fail, if condition does not satisfy, if this condition does not satisfy, I want to pass. I want to pass those records to both fail table, pass table. I want to pass those records to both fail and pass. I just made one change here. That change is nothing but a irrespective of the condition. Irrespective of the condition, load that source data into both tables, pass table and fail table. Now what will happen? This source data, this pass table will have a source data. Okay. And fail table will have what kind of records? Only fail records or both pass and fail?
Both.
Both. Only fail records. That is the condition tells us. Designer is slow. Okay. At last it is saved. Go and run the job. Okay. Job is completed successfully and remove everything. See the data of this. Okay. Now let me open the source as well. How many records are there in the source? 11. In the target also, we have 11. Okay. Now go to fail table. This fail table will have only failed records. Okay, here if you go and check this one, check the option of this, it is clearly telling you action on fail, not on pass. Okay, if this condition is not getting satisfied, those failure records only am sending it to either both fail, pass, or both. Okay, here in this case, okay, I just send the failure records to both tables, pass and fail. So that both tables, pass table as all the source records and fail table had only the failure records, which is not satisfying that given condition. So these see here, see the error action is a B. This error action always can be F or B. F in the sense fail, B in the sense both, which means by seeing this, you can say that these failure records we are passing to both tables, pass table and fail table. If the error action is a F, then we are passing these failure records only to the fail table, only to the fail table. So row IDs that have this is a common, okay, will generate a unique rows for every record of the table. So here in this case, in the pass table, this pass table has both records, valid records and invalid records, right? Invalid records in the sense what? These are the invalid records because these two are not satisfying my condition. These two are not satisfying my condition, but as per the my this option, okay, I have loaded up both valid and invalid records in this table. Okay, now how do you differentiate? How do you differentiate or how do you identify which is a failed record here? How do you identify which is a failed record or invalid record?
Adding
Adding.
key generation or
Did you understand my question? Did you understand my question first of all? This table, past table, had both records, valid and invalid. Invalid in the sense on what basis I'm saying valid and invalid based on the condition only. I put a condition where the customer name, the length of a customer name is greater than 3. Okay, greater than 3. All the greater than 3 customers are valid customers and rest all are will be the invalid customers. But it has both valid and invalid records. How do you differentiate that or how do you identify that? Hmm?
do you need to add a column, sir?
No, that is what. In this, okay, in below there is one option. See here. If any rule fails, fails and send it to pass, substitute that. So I'm enabling this and mapping one column here. Name of that column, what I take a length. So what you want to pass into that column, just to differentiate whether that is a valid or invalid column. I'm simply giving one message invalid. That's it. What happens is if we enable this, we are we are substituting that invalid records. Okay, with the by passing one message, that message is a invalid. Now go and check the data. Sorry, first validate this. Hmm. The substitution value for custom name length is invalid.
Column name, I think, not given.
Is not recognized. Any guess what is the wrong here?
Column name should be given. No.
Column name is correct, but expression this should be in double single quotes because I'm passing some message. I'm passing some message. This should be in a single quote. Just validate it. Yeah. Data type conversion. What is this column? Invalid. Okay, no problem. That is the data type conversion. Just save. What happens here is, in this case, this customer name length, okay, instead of this giving the instead of giving the numbers, it will simply populate, the records which are invalid. The records which are invalid corresponding to that, it will give you message as invalid. If you do not want to override this column, create one new column, map that new column, okay, to display the message. There you can pass the message or you can pass some numbers. It's up to you. You can write some expression or you can, populate data from other table. In this case, I am overriding this customer name length column, okay, with a message to differentiate which is a valid and which is invalid record. Now go and run the job. Okay, this is completed successfully. And check this. See, passing null, but I have passed some message. What is that message? Why null is passing here? See, 104 is invalid and 110 is also invalid, right? But it is passing null, not passing the message. Just check. Mm-mm. Oh, yes. Because, what is the reason? Tell me. Any guess? What is the reason of passing null instead of the message? Huh? Arey. What is the reason? What could be the reason?
No idea, sir. No ref. No.
No? See, the type, what is the type of this column?
In
Integer.
where can be.
Okay, but here I have passed one message, the expectation, the expected data type of this message is a varchar. This is unable to do the data conversion. Here, because of this incompatibility, it is passing null. What I will do is, instead of this, what I will do is go here, create one, this is varchar. Okay, give me length, give length as 100. Initially pass some null, apply. Okay, now come here, use that column for the, what is the name of this column? Sir, in the query transformation, right? What is the name of column name is not given. Column name I can valid or invalid. Just give column name like this. Now go here and change that column mapping. Come here. Mapping column, I'm using this. Okay. Now go validate this, no error. See, this time even there is no warning. And validate the, sorry, save this. Why it is taking a lot of time to save the job? This is done finally. Okay. Now go and run the job and see the output. There won't be any change in the fail table and rule violation table. Okay, this is completed successfully. Just remove this and see this data. Still it is giving null only. Why?
Because we didn't map that valid invalid name, sir, to customer name.
It is mapped now.
Okay, here.
This is mapped only. Sorry, not enabled. Right?
Yes, sir.
You should have catch these points here. If you look at my screen.
Yes, sir.
No errors. For 2 and 3, here it should be invalid. In the last column.
Yes.
Arey baapre. Okay, go and run the job. Completed successfully. Remove this and still null only. Why Why so?
My doubt is in query transform, should we need to give null only, sir, or can we map it in query also to the
No.
column?
Here I'm just passing null only. It should be null only, basically.
Here, can we not give the customer name?
No.
Okay.
Customer name, this one, length? No, no. Customer name also no. Just a minute, why so? Corrida, if any rule fails and sent to pass, substitute with this only. If any rule fails and sent to pass, yes, I'm passing the failure records to pass and a substitute with. The double code or no. What is the reason here? Greater than 3, this is correct. Hmm? Even if I map it to length, there also it is not passing this. Invalid only. This is correct. Okay, let me import it to okay, we are doing drop and recreate now. Let's see. Go and see the monitor log. Two failure records, yes. Total 11. Hmm. Completed. It is still giving null only. Why so? It should come that message here for customer ID 104 and customer ID 110. Okay, here the message should be invalid, but null is passing. We are not missing anything here. Hmm? It is disabled. Why it is getting disabled automatically? It is getting disabled.
If we have taken all the screenshots, what we see now, we removed all.
After saving it, why that option is automatically getting disabled?
Idea, sir.
Hmm?
We have clear email. No idea, sir. Ah. So he told only verbal. Only verbal.
Go and check whether that is enabled or not. Hmm. It is enabled. This could be the reason. See, the replace value invalid for column query dot value dot invalid in the transformation validation is not used before the column is not involved in any of the rule. It is this column is not used anywhere in the validation. That is what it is giving. Not used because the column is not involved in any of the rules. Means this column is not involved in any of the rules. Definitely it should be this only. Mm. Go and check whether that is still enabled or not. So this column, okay, must be used in any of the rule. It's my bad. Because before what I did is, I have created one column, additional column, but that column was not used in any of the rule. In that case, job was thrown an error that must be used in any of the rule. check and whether that is still enabled or not. Okay, now go and run the job. Now it is completed. See the output of this pass table. Still null only, but message is not passing to this. Okay, change the type of this column and check it. If I change the type of the column, then again it would be, again there would be, I guess there would be compatibility data type, I mean incompatibility. Data type incompatibility. Okay, I do not want to invested more time on this. Okay, you can check what you can do is just change the type of this customer name length column to varchar. Okay, then again, then try to run this job. In that case, it should be, it should come. This message should come for the invalid records in the past table. Okay, that you can try that one. Clear, right? So this is all about the data validation. Any questions on this data validation? Any question? Yeah.
Sir, you told this will use in ECC migration, no, sir.
Data migration projects. Yes,
Like
yes.
if it is ECC or S/4HANA, which table we will load, sir?
No,
Yes,
no.
sir.
We do use this data validation transformation. Okay. Then again, that will be connected to another table, target table. That table will be the input to, SAP tables.
Okay.
Directly, this data validation transformation cannot directly connect to the S4 table, S4 table.
Okay. Okay.
This cannot be directly connected to the S4 table. Maybe what you can do is after perform the validation, load the data into some target table, maybe some flat file. Okay, load that flat file data into the SAP system. So that anyhow that flat file will have only the satisfied records as per the your validation checks. Now that would be the your value, I mean data for the migration.
Okay, sir. Got it.
Okay, so this is a data validation transformation. Then moving to the next transformation is a SQL transformation. Okay, this you can SQL transformation in the sense if you are good in SQL in writing the SQL queries. If you are good in writing the SQL queries, okay, you can use this SQL transformation as a source. Then transform the data into the target table. Which means, let me demonstrate this. Usually we don't use this SQL transformation. We will go with the other these transformations only. But if you do not want to import the table in the designer, if you do not want to import this table, I mean source table into the designer. Okay, in that case, you can use the SQL transformation. I'm just taking this first to take a data flow. Then take this SQL transformation. Okay, here you can write the that is SQL query. So what I'm doing is
This is
here
the
just for demonstration. Select star from, take this table only, where location, where location equal to in. Just run this. Okay, now it is retrieving only the, India customers. What I'm doing is I'm just taking this SQL query, going here and paste it here. Take the data store that we have already created. Okay, database type. So where you want to run this query, in which database? HANA database. Okay. Then array fetch size. How many records you want to fetch in one cycle? How many records you want to fetch in one cycle while transforming this data to target table? Just update schema. The moment when you update schema, all the columns of this table should appear here. See, on the moment when you update the schema, all the columns of the table will come here. Okay, now go here. Rest of the part is same. Query transformation. Then take one temporary table. This is what SQL transformation. Owner is SAP HANA DB. Okay, map everything from SQL to query transformation. If you want to transform based on the requirement only, if you want only customer ID, customer name, SBU, only map those to target table. Okay, here I want to create one column. Insert below row ID. Row underscore ID. Integer only. Okay, for this we have one predefined function, gen row number. Apply. And now validate this. Save this job. This is very simple. So here I'm not importing any table. I'm not importing the table in the designer. I'm not importing the table into the designer. Okay, I'm just writing a SQL query in SQL transformation. Okay, the moment when you update the schema, okay, all the available fields will come into this transformation. Go and run this job. Where it is? Oh, separate job we have created. What is an SQL? Name of the job is job underscore SQL. Go and run this. See the status of job. It seems there is an error. No error. Okay. Job is completed, I guess now. Yes. Go and check the data of this target table. See. Here in the SQL transformation, what I did is I'm just fetching only India customers and transforming the data to target table. That's it. If you want to catch the table in the designer, just enable this. This is the option will be used for optimization for performance optimization. That's it. Any questions on this SQL transformation? If you are good in writing the SQL queries, okay, just write that code in database first, then paste that SQL code in SQL transformation, then transform the data. That's it. In the data validation, there is another tab here. Just check this. Output rule or violation information. You want to create a row ID column and validation file. If you check this, then row ID will get created. Otherwise, row ID will not created in the fail table, fail and rule violation table. Okay, on failure, collect data validation statistics, collect sample data on the failure. Okay, that's all about data validation transformation and SQL transformation. Any questions on this these two transformation before moving on to the next point? Hmm?
No, sir.
Ram, this SQL transformation might be useful for you because you want to
Yes, yes.
achieve everything through SQL code only, na?
Mm.
Okay, that you can write a code here, use this SQL transformation and paste here and load the data into target table. That's it.
Okay, okay.
Okay, good, well and good. So all these are the transformations. I have covered most of the transformations which we'll be using in any project. Okay, apart from this, we have a couple of more transformations, but I do not want to, demonstrate them now at this moment. If time is there, then we can see these data quality transformations will be used, for quality analysis, data quality analysis, for the data quality analysis. So that you can just practice with these data quality transformations if you want. If I have a time, okay, then I will just touch one or two transformations under this data quality. Okay, then one more transformation is there, that is a data transfer. This transformation is also will be used in performance optimization. Performance optimization. Performance optimization, I mean, in the sense, if there is a huge volume of data in the source, the data size of the source is more, okay, then you can use this data transformation. This will, speed up the process, means speed up the ETL process, reading the data from source system. It will speed up the reading the data from source system. Whether you want to transform that, how you want to transfer the data using the table, temporary table, file, or automatic. If you use the table, okay, then you need to specify the table name. What it will happen is, it will fetch all the data into this designer, a BODS table, the table that we will be specifying here. Okay, it will fetch all the data at a time from the source to this table, and then it will be given to the further process in the data flow. Or if you want to use a file, you can use the file, but give the name of that file to store the data, source data. Path of that file, path of the file, okay, and a file name. So in most of the cases, we'll go with the automatic only. Okay, internally that designer only will take care of reading the, read the data from the source system and load the data into this data transfer tables. Either it is a file or table, okay, that will be taken care internally by designer. I'm not going to demonstrate this, but when do you use this data transfer is whenever you want to speed up the ETL process. I mean, whenever you want to speed up the job, or if the source size, I mean, if data size of the source is uh, big, okay, then only then use this data transfer. That's it. Okay, that's all about the transformations. Then moving on to the next one is variables. Variables and parameters. Variables and parameters in BODS. Okay, in any application, you take any example, you take any application as an example, definitely everywhere we do use variables and parameters. Okay, so likewise in BODS also, okay, we do use variables and parameters. Variable, what is the meaning of variable and what is the purpose of a variable? Variables are nothing but a placeholders what that can be used to store the temporary data. That can be used to store the temporary values or temporary data. Okay, simply I can say temporary values before, I mean, during the job execution. I repeat, variable is nothing but a placeholder that can be used to store the temporary values during the job execution. During the job execution. Okay. So in the BODS, here we have two types of variables. One is a local variable and second one is a global variable. In BODS, we have two types of variables. One is a local variable and a global variable. Local variable means when you define a local variable, okay, the scope of that variable is to that particular unit only, where you declare that variable. But global variable means when you declare a variable, okay, that variable, the scope of the variable will be the throughout the job. These local variables and global variables we can define. We can define, okay, in the job. We can define in the job. That means local variable, global variables can be defined at a job level. Global variables can be defined at a job level, whereas local variables can be defined at a workflow and data flow level. Workflow and data flow level. Just a minute. Okay, let's demonstrate on this local and global variables. I'm creating one job here. That is job underscore variables. So if you right click on this, not here, let me take a workflow as well because I will show you difference of local and global. This is workflow underscore variables. And inside this, take a data flow df underscore variables. Okay. Now go back. So here I have created one job with the name of job underscore variables. Inside this job, I have one workflow. Inside that workflow, I have one data flow. This data flow is empty. Okay. Now, where do you declare a variables here? From the menu bar, go to tools. Okay, click on variables. The moment when you click on the variables, one dialog box will pop up. One dialog box will pop up where you can see these parameters here, parameters and global variables. Now we are at data flow level. Let me come from the job level. Just click on this. See, just see the changes. See the observe the changes of this on the screen, variable screen. Now I'm at a job level. You can see that context is job underscore variables means now I'm at a job level. At a job level, the moment when you create any variable here, that variable would be the local variable. Okay, insert. Just create one variable, always local variables. Local variables always start with whenever you define a local variable or global variable. Okay, there is one standard and naming convention. The local variables always start with $LV underscore. And the global variables always start with $GV underscore. This is the best practice whenever you define a variables in the designer. Okay, local variable in the sense dollar, it must be start with any whenever you want to declare a variable in the BODS in the designer, the syntax, it starts with dollar. After dollar, you can give any name, but the SAP, as per SAP standards, the naming convention would be like this. If it is a local variable LV, if it is a global variable GV. Okay, now I'm giving a local variable LV underscore let's give year. Okay, the type is integer only. So at job level, I can create a local variable as well. Okay, but the scope of this variable is within this job only. Within the job means within the job means in this workspace only. In this workspace only, not inside the workflow, not inside the data flow. Okay. Now I'm creating a global variable also. Name of this global variable, what I'm GV underscore year only. The scope of this global variable is this variable can be used inside this workflow. This variable can be used inside this data flow. Okay, at job level, I have created two variables. One is a local variable and second one is a global variable. Global variable in the sense this global variable can be used throughout the job. Means inside this workflow, if there are 10 workflows, you can use this global variable in 10 workflows. Okay, if there are 10 data flows, you can use this global variable in 10 data flows. Okay, but this local variable can be used only within in this inside this job only, here only, in this workspace only. Now I'm going to, so now I'm at a workflow level. Okay, in the workflow level, see, let's check here. You can create a variables. You can create a variables here $LV underscore some month. Now right click on this global variable. See, I'm trying to right click on this, but it is not coming up. Means global variables cannot be created at a workflow level and data flow level. That is what I wanted to highlight here. Whereas local variables can be created. Whereas global variable can be created only at job level, not at workflow level, not at data flow level. The moment when you create this global variable at job level, this variable can be used. The scope of that variable can be the throughout this job. Inside this job, whatever you want to put inside the job, you put it. Okay, you define that, you design data flow, n number of data flows inside this job as per your requirement. You can use this global variable. Okay. Now local variables. So here I can create at workflow level, I can create a local variable. At a data flow level, check. At data flow level, do you have that local variable option here? Do you have that do you have this local variable option here? No. At a data flow level, you cannot create any, I mean, neither local variables nor global variables, but you can create a parameters. What is the use of this parameter? How to create this parameter? That I will see. I will come back to that after this, you know, variables demonstration. Clear, right? So, on a higher note, in the summary, local variables can be created at workflow level and job level. After hours also 90%. And global variables can be created only at job level. Only at job level. So whatever variables we do create either at this workflow level or job level, those variables can be used here inside the data flow. Okay. So now I am designing one data flow to demonstrate this variable. Okay, fine. Now I want to declare a global variable at a job level. How do you declare a global variable at job level? I mean, variable declaration is already done. Okay, I want to assign some values. I want to assign some values to these created global variable or local variable. Then how do you do that? We need to
Then
take a
transform.
script. Take a script.
So we have that's all right. SL is no
This is script underscore variables. Inside the script, I can assign values to the created variables. Inside this, I can assign values to these created variables. Those values can be static or dynamic. Okay. So now what I'm doing here is assigning one static value to this local variable LV underscore ESC. Local variable, this is 2023. And a global variable as well, GV. So whatever parameters, whatever variables or parameters we do create, those will populate automatically here. The moment when you start typing, these variable names, okay, if these variables are already defined, then that will pop up here. Just select a global variable. For this, I'm passing 2025. Okay. So here, just validate this. There is error. What is this error? What is this error? GV underscore year. The error is
Quote semicolon.
semicolon.
Please forward.
No errors. Because I have defined the type of this year as an integer. This is also integer, so that I'm just simply assigning integer value to this local variable and global variable. Okay. Now what I'm doing is I'm just joining this local variable, this script to this workflow. Under this workflow, I have data flow. You can skip this workflow here. Okay, if you want, create this script inside this here. Okay, in the job only. In the job only, you can put data flow and script. But here, just to show you the difference of the scope of the variables local and local and global, I have created this structure. Okay, but this workflow is an optional here. Let me, what is this? No, sorry. Remove this data flow. Here, design a data flow. Okay, in order to demonstrate these variables, for that, what I will do is go to the plot file, or let's take a plot file only. You can take the DB table as well, but DB table I do not have here, so that I'm taking this plot file only. This plot file as, let me take another one which has some, sufficient data. I mean, okay, let me add here, 2023, 2023, 2025, 2025. Okay. Then 2023, then 2024, then 2024. Now save this. I have prepared my plot file data. Okay, just to in order to demonstrate the variables. What is the name of this file where we have added this new column in file? Go here, go to plot files, in, double click on this. It is not populating here. Then how do you populate that additional column in this plot file structure in BODS? Huh? There are two ways. Either create manually that column here, or just do one change here. Instead of backslash, give the forward slash. Nothing will come now. See here. Otherwise, simply what you can do is, I have just override the schema. I have just override the schema so that that additional field, whatever created in the plot file, plot file, okay, that will update automatically in this plot file structure in BODS in the designer. So here integer only anyhow. Save and close. So design a data flow wherein extract the data from this plot file, in file, okay, and load the data into the target table. While loading the data into the target table, pass these variables. Pass these variables. Okay, now go take this plot file as a source. Then query transformation, make a join from this to this. Now in the where class, what I am doing here is I am putting a filter. Okay, I am putting a restriction on a year column. Here I'm not passing. I don't want to pass the static value here. I want to pass the variable. I want to pass the variable that we have created here at job level. Okay. Now, how do you pass the variable? How many variables we have created here?
Two.
Two variables we have created. One is a two variables we have created. One is a local variable, a year, and the second one is a global variable.
So please send this.
Okay, now go here, go to this data flow, come here. Let me pass, go to where class.
Yeah, I will. I will.
Let me pass the local variable first.
This type of
See,
audits.
are we allowed to pass the local variable in the data flow to this year?
We have to stabilize.
Just type
That's
the
good.
Whatever I'm
dollar.
saying. Even
Type the dollar.
the
Now it is giving, we have created two variables. One is a local variable and second one is a global variable at job level. Okay, but this local variable is not appearing here because the scope of local variable is only to that unit. That unit means the scope of the local variable only to this workspace. Only to this workspace, not inside the workflow, not inside the data flow. Okay, so I'm passing a global variable only. Take a temporary table. Variables in BODS. Name of the table is variables in BODS. Now tell me what data in the source we have. This is again X communication issue. Okay, in the source we have 3 years data, 23 data we have, 24 data we have, 25 data we have. Then what data will transfer to the target table?
2024 global variable
So
data.
what is the variable? What is the variable we have passed to this year field? Global variable. What is the value passed to this global variable?
2024
What is the value passed to this global variable?
2025
2025. So only 2025 data will be loading into this target table. Go to job. I'm going to job and here we have two options here, whether you observed or not. Validate current, validate all. Validate all means it will validate all the objects of this job. Validate current means it will validate only this workspace objects. No errors. Save.
Actually, I think I'm before that you were saying this so much times
Go to management console. Is it saved or not? Okay, now go and run the job. Name of the job is job variables. It is completed successfully and go and check the data of target table. See, only 2025. Check the source data as well. How many records are there for 2025? Only two, that is GE customer and what is the other one? Vodafone. Vodafone and GE customers are in 2025 year. Clear, right? Here inside this script, here in this, I have passed static value to these variables. If you want, you can pass the dynamic values as well based on the system date. Based on the system date, you can pass a dynamic, year, month, period, whatever it is, as per the requirement. And another point here is here inside the data flow, I can use only this global variable. Inside the data flow, I can use only the global variable. I cannot use this local variable because this local variable here, let me write some print. I want to use some message. Local variable. Single code, sorry. Because in the job, when you run the job here, I want to display some, I want to display these variable values. How do you display the variable values in the job? While running the job, if these displaying the variable values in the job will helpful to troubleshoot issue if any, to troubleshoot the issues if any. Now local variable order use the pipe symbol to concatenate. That is LV underscore year. Same for display the print. I use the print function here. That's it. To display global variable value. Okay, now be at job level and validate. No problem. Because type warning only type conversion. Type conversion in the sense this here the data type of here is an integer, but print returns the varchar. Print function returns the varchar. If you want to do the type conversion here, you can do it. Okay, that is use the function to underscore. What is the function? To char only. To char comma int. Okay, it also same. Use the function. This is just type conversion I'm doing. Otherwise, without this type conversion also job will run. It won't it won't give any issues. But maybe there might there might be some effect on the data. It also toChar is another predefined function. What happened? Two codes. Okay. Job level, just to validate. Now type conversion is also not there. Just save this. What will happen now is nothing. Nothing will happen. Only the global variable values will be displayed here. This is how you can troubleshoot if there are any issues. Just use the print function. Okay, display the values. Okay, while tracing, while tracing the issues, wherever you want, you can use that print and see what value is passing to that stepper. Just see here, local variable value not giving. Why so? Anything wrong here? Twenty 2023 and 2024 should display here. Only message is coming, but now value is not coming. Is it because of this type conversion? Just check it. Should not be because of this. Okay, conversion, I know it. Concatenation, yeah. I'm just concatenating value of here with this message, local variable. Here also same I'm doing. What is the output data? 25 only, right? Yes. Conversion issue only. Okay, see, local variable value is 2023, global variable value is 2025. So 2025 data in the data flow, what is we have passed that global variable to this year, so that every time, suppose next time you want to load 2023, 2024 data, go to design, this script and change the value here. Change the value, global variable value. If you want to pass 24, change the value here. Okay, change the value at one place. Okay, that will reflect in all within and throughout the job. That change will reflect throughout the job. Inside the job, I have 10 workflows, 10 data flows. Everywhere this I have used this global variable. Okay, if I want to change the year every time, I cannot go to each and every data flow and change the value, right? So I declare that at once. I declare that value here, change the value here in the in the global variable at this place. That will reflect throughout the job. The change will reflect throughout the job. Now, point here is inside this data flow, I can pass only global variable, right? I can pass only global variable, but I want to pass this local variable value. Is it possible? I want to pass this local variable value as well to the data flow. Is it possible? Huh? Yes or no? Yes or no? For now, at this moment, I cannot pass the local variable value to the data flow because that is out of scope. That is, the scope of this local variable is till this only, till at a job only. For that, if you want to use this, local variable value, if you want to pass this local variable value to the data flow, we have, there is another concept. That concept is nothing but a parameters. That concept is nothing but a parameters. So basically, parameters are used to store values that can be reused. That can be reused across jobs, workflows, and data flows. Okay. So that is the meaning of parameter. So parameters are used to store values that can be reused across job, workflows, data flows. So these parameters, okay, improve flexibility and flexibility by allowing dynamic value assignments. By allowing dynamic value assignments. How do you create a parameter? How do you create a parameter? Now go to job, and open these variables. At job level, can we create a parameters? At job level, can we create a parameters? No. See, in this screen you can see it now. At job level, only local variables and global variables can be created. Parameters cannot be created. Now go to variable. At variable level, sorry, at workflow level, you can create a parameters. Okay. At data flow level also you can create a parameters. Now I am creating a parameter here at data flow level. Name of these parameters. So parameters always start with dollar only. Dollar $P means dollar $P and is nothing but this is a parameter. Underscore, what I am doing is year only. Let's take a year only. Parameter type. What is this parameter type? Whether you want to pass, whether you want to use this parameter as input, or whether you want to this parameter as output, or whether you want to use this parameter as input and output. Okay, see the options of parameter. Name of the parameter, data type. These two are common, same as local and global variables. But there is one additional option here in while creating a parameter, whether you want to use that parameter as a input, output, or input, output. Now I am giving, I want to use this parameter as input only. Okay. Now go to, what happened? View toolbars. Where is the object? I want to give it here. Why it is not here only? Okay. Just align these two. Now go to this query, data flow where class. Instead of passing the global variable, what I'm passing here is parameter. Okay, P here. This is the input to this year. This is the input to this year. The source field input to the source column, that is year. After passing the parameter in the data flow, you have to do one more step here. Go here, tools, variables. Where is variable? Something happened. Tools, variables. This is a project area, variables. Just a minute, let me align it. For timing. And now tools, object library, tools, project area. Just minimize this. Okay. So here I have created a parameter with the name of p underscore here. I have passed this parameter as input in the data flow. Okay. Now assign value to this parameter. For that you have to go here, call be a data flow. It should come here. Why it is not coming? Just a minute. A pass a value, argument value. Okay, here I'm passing local variable lv underscore here. Okay, I have passed this lv, local variable, this lv to the parameter, So this local variable value will be passed to this parameter. This parameter value will be passed in the data flow. Okay, now go to job, validate this. P here contains an invalid expression. Additional information cannot pass expression referring an undeclared variable. Declare the variable in the context that is being used. Means, what does it mean? Any idea? We have declared this variable at a job level. We have declared this variable at job level, not at workflow level. Okay. Create that variable at workflow level. lv underscore here. Now this is passed to here. Yes. Just be at job level and validate this. Conversion issues, it's not a problem. Now save this. So any questions so far on these variables? Very, very important, especially in our project. Because we are passing period, right? Dynamically, static period we are passing in some of the jobs. We are passing a period dynamically in some of the jobs. Go here and run this job and see what data. Now tell me what data should load into the target table. Which year data? 25 data, 23 data. Sorry, 24 data. Now I have 25 data. Which data should load into the target table now?
24, sir.
Yes, 24 only. Go and check. Okay, now go and check the target data, the target table data. Why so no data? Just see here. 7 split, but mapping not happened. And Anything wrong here? P here only. We are passing here only. Oh. What is the issue? Any guess? Huh?
No, sir.
No, na. It's very easy, na.
Wait.
See, at a job level, I have declared a year and assigned that value at job level 2023. But this variable cannot. I'm not passing this variable to the parameter. This variable I cannot pass to the parameter because this is created. This is a local variable created at job level. At job level, we cannot create the parameters. Okay, this LV can be, this local variable can be used only in this workspace only, in this space only. But where I'm trying to use that variable, I'm trying to use that variable at a workflow level. I'm trying to use that variable at workflow level. This is LV here. This variable is created at a workflow level, but there is no value passed to this. Now take a script. Very simple, na? Take a script. Now initialize the value LV underscore year. Okay, then now pass 2023. Okay, if you get confused, what I'm doing is LV underscore year underscore workflow level. I'm just changing the name. Okay, here also initialize the now 2023. Make a join. If you do not join, then 2023 will not pass to this data flow. Go here. Syntax error. Yes, some error is there. No, this is local variable only. But here, what is this error? Any idea? By looking at this screen, you can easily
Semicolon.
one error is a semicolon. You can easily grab that. Another error is
Flow
tool
should.
workflows. Here we have passed what? It should be this. Conversion issues, no problem. I don't mind with them. Now go and run the job. What data will flow into the target table? Which year data?
Twenty 24.
Which year I have passed it to that parameter?
2024.
2024. Now go and check. This is at workflow level 2023, not
23.
4. Okay, now go and see. Source data. This is my source data. And see 2023 data has been loaded into the target table.
Sure.
So this is how you can use the variables and parameters in the designer. Local variable, global variable, parameters. Please go on mute. Someone, please go on mute. Clear, right? Any questions on this variables and parameters? You can practice. Okay, if you want to learn BODS, you can practice with multiple scenarios. Any questions on these variables, variable and parameters?
No, sir. Sir, I had one question. Sir, today and tomorrow we'll practice these things which you told. So can
Huh?
we schedule one more class on Friday that we have created HFM jobs and CBCR jobs, right, sir? So yes.
All those, see, tomorrow onwards, mostly I wanted to start a KT. Okay, KT in the sense, whatever jobs we have created in the BODS, I will walk you through of all those jobs.
Okay, sir.
That is the meaning of KT.
Got it, sir.
This is project area, local object area. Local object area should be up only. Let me keep here. And where is project area? This is project area, right? Hmm. It should come here basically, but now okay, leave it. I don't want. See, another one. Moving on to the next one is this is the last. You know, last point in today's session. So in the designer, okay, I want to search either something. I mean, I want to search a table, or I want to search a data flow, or I want to search something. How do you do that? I want to search something in the designer. Let's say if I ask you whether this table, whether you are using this table in your designer anywhere or not,
Right
then
click and where you use.
here you can go and search. Where is the search? Right click on this.
Bottom.
Where is that search option? Ah, see search. Go to this data store tab. Right click on this empty space, then search. So the moment when you click on the search, then another dialog box will pop up. It will look where you want to search that, at a repository level or a data store level. Let's say at a repository level, object type. What is the object type? I want to search the table. Okay, name contains. I want to search whether major table is being used in the designer or not. So just give name of the table. Okay, then search. See, Mej is a table, and we have a temporary table also with the same name. So let's see where you are using this DB table. Just right click on this. Okay, see view where used. So you are using this DB table in these two data flows. You want to see where this data flow is used. Right click on this, view where used. This is used in this job. So where is that job? In this training folder. That's it. Okay, search is one of the important feature in this BODS. You want to search if you don't know the table name or data flow anything. Okay, if you want to search that, okay, then you can go with this search option. It's very simple. I just wanted to show you that option here. That's it. And before closing today's session, just one question. What are the reusable objects in BODS? What are the reusable objects in BODS? We have objects like job, workflow, and data flow. These three are the reusable. Job can be reused as needed whenever it is needed. Variable, workflows can be reusable, data flows can be reusable. All three of them can be reusable in the designer. Okay, whenever it is required. Okay, that's all about today's session. Any questions on today's session?
Sir, one small doubt. If we want to copy the data flow, can we copy the existing data flow and paste it in new job which we need?
Yes,
Can
yes.
be.
Yeah, you can do that. Go here. If you want to take a copy of any data flow, right click on this data flow, replicate.
Okay. Okay.
Replicate, that's it. It will create a copy of that.
Okay, we can
So
drag
if you
it.
want to use any way that, see here in this, let me go to data validation. In this job, if you want to use any data flows here, if you want to any data flows in this job, you can use it. You can simply drag and drop. The moment when you run this job, okay, what is that job? Data validation job. All these data flows will work parallelly. All these data flows will run parallelly. If you make a join, if you do not make a join between the workflows, these data flows will work. Will run parallelly. If you make a join, then when you run this job, first this data flow will process. As soon as the process of this data flow completes, then this data flow will process. Then this data flow will process. If there is a dependency, okay, in this data flow, I have a dependency of the second data flow on the first data flow. As soon as this first data flow is completed successfully, then only run this second data flow. That restriction also, if there is a dependency, that also can be handled here by using try catch.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, that is what here, if you see here, data flow, one tab, we have workflow is one tab, job is one tab. Okay, and inside a job, you can drag and drop any workflows, you can drag and drop any data flows. Clear, right?
Yes, sir.
So in tomorrow's session, what I want to cover is, instead of starting KT, in tomorrow's session, what I will do is I will start with the lookup functions. Lookup functions are very, very important in the designer in BODS. Okay. If you go to any interview, the first question, definitely this question will be asked. No doubt at all. Okay. I will start with that lookup functions. After that, I will show you how to migrate the jobs from development environment to quality environment or production environment. How to do the promotion in BODS, that I will show you. After that, if still I have a time, then I will start with KT. Okay, clear, right?
Yes, sir.
So after this call, maybe after lunch, what I will do is I will create IDs in BODS. Okay, whoever for rest of the team, and I will assign one repository to each one of you. Okay, who has already repositories. Okay, you can log into your repositories and start working on this BODS if you want. Okay, for rest of team members who do not have this repository access, or who do not have assigned to any repository, for them I will create your IDs in BODS. Okay, then assign the repository. That is a one point. So do you want me to do that offline, or do you want me to show that in tomorrow's training session? It's up to you. How to create IDs in BODS, how to assign the repositories to the resource. You want me to do it in offline, or you want me to show that in tomorrow's training session, and along with that, and along showing that, and assign the repositories? How do you want? It's up to you. Your choice. Huh? Okay. If no response, what I will do is I will create I will assign the repositories offline. Okay, I will update you.
No, sir,
Thank you,
you
team.
can just share us.
Okay, great. Thank you, team. Bye.
Hello, sir. You are saying, opportunity, sir.